Fox NASCAR live in Bristol, Tennessee. The opening race in the round of 8 for the Craftsman Truck Series later tonight on FS1. Right now it's practice and qualifying. Before we move ahead with the playoff action, let's rewind to what happened. Elimination race in the round of 10. What a thriller it was at Kansas.
We're going to take them 3 wide, Adam, down into turn 3 and watch them slide up across the nose of Zane Smith and drive off to victory. Look at that battle for second. We saw that all night long at Kansas. So much fun. And now we're at Bristol, baby. Doesn't get a whole lot better than this.
And it's amazing Zane Smith survived that. He was completely sideways off of turn 4, still finished 5th.
Here are the 8 drivers still alive for the championship in 2023. Corey Heim, the #1 seed, +8 over the cut line. Look how tight it is, Phil, from 1st to 6th on the board.
24 points separate first to last. First to last on the board, and when there's 180 points available in this round, 180, and all 8 are separated by 24 points.
We know at least one driver will go to Phoenix on points, and we also know if you win tonight and you're one of those 8 drivers, you lock into the championship race at Phoenix. There's the mustache man.
Yeah, and if you're Christian Eckes, you're all in. Got that win last time out in Kansas. But look, I'm not talking about the win and being all in. I'm talking about that mustache. He's saying, I'm going playoff race, and I'm going to grow the playoff stash, and he's made it work. I'm telling you, Phil, he's one of my favorites to win this championship. A lot of speed in that number 19 Napa truck.
And Michael, we talked about it last week. We saw that leaderboard there, the 8 playoff contenders still eligible. I can't pare it down past 6. I can't go down to 4 right now. I'm at 6.
And that might change after the opening stage tonight.
It could. It absolutely could. And certainly might at the end of the race.
Daniel Dye, pretty good track record here in the ARCA series in that 43 truck. And there you see the 7, Travis Kvapil, trying to figure this out.
Well, I said the same thing last week. It's Carson Kvapil.
I love it. Travis.
I said Travis as well last week, but it's not him. It's his son, Carson.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But Travis won here in 2003, right?
He did. Yes, he did.
And he's not coming out of retirement.
No,
that's his son.
That's his son, 20-year-old. Carson Kvapil.
What a resume he has in late model racing too. Really heating it up and really doing a great job behind the wheel. And this is what I was talking about.
This is why you had Travis on the brain.
Yeah.
He wins the race under caution. You know why that happened?
Tell us, Phil.
Kevin Harvick cut a tire down, leading, coming to take the white flag off of turn 4, and obviously got to the start-finish line. Travis Kvapil gets that win, his only win of that season, and he well, who is that interviewing Travis Kvapil?
You haven't changed a bit. You know that?
Thank you. But Travis Kvapil finished all but 1 lap that entire season in 2003.
And when he went home that night, he said hello to his young baby Carson, who is exactly 90 days old when Travis got the checkered flag.
And there he is right there.
So he won on a Wednesday night, Travis did. That Friday night, Michael, you pulled into victory lane, one of your 2 Xfinity wins here at Bristol.
Yeah, what a great memory that was, driving the old Aaron's Dream Machine. So much fun at Bristol. I mean, I know I had that bad crash there, but Phil, I know you feel this way when you got your first Sportsman win there, or whatever you called it back in the 60s.
Yeah, it was the Budweiser Sportsman Series, which was obviously the start of the Busch Series, now Xfinity Series, but that's what it was the first year.
But I'm saying this to tell you, Adam, and you know this, but the fans listening at home, we love Bristol as racers. No matter what, no matter who you are, when Bristol was next week, you got excited because you wanted to go up there and put on a show at this beautiful little half-mile with all the grandstands surrounding it. How much energy is it when you go to Bristol? I love this place.
You know, people ask us all the time, Michael, I know they've asked you a million times, you know, what does it feel like to go 200 miles an hour? I said, well, that's all relative. You get more of a sensation of speed at a place like Bristol with a top speed of maybe 135 miles an hour than you do at a Daytona at 190 or 200 miles an hour.
I want to remind everyone, practice divided into 2 groups. All the playoff drivers in Group 2. 5 minutes into this opening session, we'll be talking about all those championship hopefuls when we come back to the always entertaining Bristol, Tennessee.
Home. It's where the heart is. Home is where we keep our most precious memories. Home is where the party starts early and ends with a bang. Home is where the kids play and the big kids too. Home is where you let loose with a pre-race concert featuring Riley Green.
Bring it home.
The Bank of America Rovo 400, Sunday, October 8th. Visit CharlotteMotorspeedway.com. Welcome home.
Group A practice underway for the Craftsman Truck Series. We're live in Bristol, Tennessee with Michael Waltrip, Phil Parsons. I'm Adam Alexander down in the garage. Amanda Busick. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Hey guys, well, it's good to walk on property as Ty Majeski showed up here last year, wins the race, also has an impressive short track resume. So what's the secret with short track racing, Ty?
I've done a lot of it in my career. I think part of it is just knowing the feel you need in order to make passes right. Trying to get that practice balance and know what you need for dirty air to pass in these trucks. Joe Shearer Jr., my crew chief, is one of the best short track crew chiefs in the garage area, and I feel like I do a good job with the short tracks, telling him what he needs. So it's been a good relationship for us on short tracks, and hopefully we can get it done at Bristol again tonight.
We talked about this story in the spring, but for those that are just now tuning in, tell me about the t-shirt you had as a kid.
Yeah, I remember coming here, must have been 06, 07, maybe even a little bit before that. There was a t-shirt that said I was short and fast like Bristol. I'm about 5'4", 5'5", and just one of the cool memories. We stayed out in I think the Red Barn campground, and this is the first place I saw my first cup race. So cool memories, and to have my first NASCAR win here is pretty cool to see it come full circle.
Living up to the name, guys.
That just tells you, Adam, how special Bristol is. To anybody that wants to race a stock car, doesn't matter. You come to Bristol, you just won't ever forget it. And somebody's not going to forget this little session. What about Caden Honeycutt's first fastest in the 02, fastest cat on the track? And he finished 13th here a year ago. You got to be really competitive to finish in the top 15 in the Truck Series. He did that. Check the box there. And look at this in this session. I've got a lot of I'm really high on this kid. I think he's got a lot of talent. He does a great job every time he gets behind the wheel. It's fun to see him getting to celebrate here during this session.
Talk about the 02. Let's go to the 22. Stephen Malazzi. Outback Steakhouse is the sponsor. Here's how it came together. Goes out, runs a race, puts out a post about Outback, tags one of their executives. He works there as a server. They pick up on it, said, we want to paint the truck at Bristol. How awesome is that?
That is so awesome.
Well, there's a Outback Steakhouse in Ormond Beach, Florida, that you can pretty much find me there every day when I'm in that part of the country. I just love Outback. I love what Malazzi's done here, getting this opportunity in the 22 truck. Now he just has to take advantage of it. Take a great opportunity like this, put that truck in the top 20, and maybe he gets more chances.
He said he's been racing since he was 8 years old. And the perfect post-race meal, win or lose. Outback Steakhouse. 4 minutes to go. Group A practice rolling at Bristol. Week 3, college football. Big noon Saturday kicks off on Fox with a good one of the Big Ten. 7th-ranked Penn State against rival Illinois. Catch all the action beginning Saturday, noon Eastern on Fox. These two teams played 3 years ago. Michael, how many overtimes do you think it took to decide it? Penn State,
4.
Illinois. You said 4.
Yes.
Phil, earlier, before we came on the air, guessed 6. It was 9.
No way.
I'm rooting for more of the same Saturday. What the heck?
I'm rooting for Matt Crafton.
He's not playing, actually, in the game.
Oh, man, I got to get...
I thought he was a running back.
I got to get my stuff together, man. First it was Travis Quapple, now it's Matt Crafton. You're talking about Penn State and Illinois.
Group A is done. Honeycutt leads the session. Crafton is second.
Crafton's got a lot to race for. He wants to prove all the people that say he's done, he ain't done. He made the playoffs, unfortunately eliminated. And so it'll just be all about winning races, Phil.
Yeah, and had 2 of our good ones that were eliminated after that first round of 10.
Second group of practice has all the playoff drivers in it. We'll have that for you when we come back.
All right, I'm going to change your world.
That's going to be interesting.
Let's go. I love to root for great.
Yeah.
I want to watch history.
Ooh.
You want to root for the underdog. Good luck with that. In sports, people hate what they fear. They hate the Cowboys. They hate LeBron. I've got a lot of haters.
Truth hurts sometimes.
I'm controversial when I don't even mean to be. It doesn't matter how many times I'm right. You'll still argue with me. This is The Herd.
It's a beautiful afternoon, Thursday afternoon here in Bristol, Tennessee, as we're set for practice and qualifying ahead of the race tonight. And Caden, you looked great in this Group 1 qualifying. He even said it's nice to get out there and beat someone like Matt Craftsman. What's working so well with the truck?
Well, with the second run, we actually got it off the racetrack, so we were able to actually put in some good laps. Truck felt good, so I'm really excited for tonight. This was a great place for me last year. Short track is what I come from, so I try to capitalize this as best I can. And young motorsports guys, Sauer Young, Randy, Renko Industries gave me the opportunity to do this again this week. Can't thank him enough, and hopefully we'll put another good showing in. We had a good showing in Kansas until we didn't, so like I said, very thankful to be here, and all my friends and family that support me through this journey, and just glad to be here, and maybe we can do something special today. I like that.
Adam, it's the first time that Caden is pulling double duty. He actually qualified 7th in ARCA earlier.
In fact, 3 of the top 5 in that opening group running both races here tonight.
Well, they have a lot of strength in the field in that ARCA race, and we'll be also running the truck race later on. That's a lot. 400 laps here tonight. It's going to be a lot.
Very physically demanding racetrack. The sharp corners, the high banks really takes it out of you. So, but you like these challenges. If you're a young race car driver, you're like, if I run this ARCA race, I'm going to be more ready to go run the truck race later this evening.
Yeah, I'm going to show these guys that I'm capable of running 400 laps hard in one evening.
Hey, Adam, guess who the fastest truck in Eastern Tennessee is?
I'm going to say his name is Christian Eckes. He was fastest when we left the Midwest 6 days ago.
And he just rode on that pickup truck that we ride in from racetrack to racetrack.
Hopefully this one rides a little smoother than that one. It looks like a rough ride, the one that we put on our graphics package.
But man, what about the confidence this kid must have after that big win? And now, and look at his results in the first round. And now the fastest cat in Tennessee. That's pretty cool.
Second, third win. A pretty good opening round.
We'll call that an average of second.
Phil, there you go with all your math skills.
I got it.
Just like to really show off.
Well, I just needed a calculator, but not for long.
Worked on it all week, didn't you, Phil?
Yes, I did.
It's really interesting to me going out there and putting a fast lap right up on the board like we saw Eckes do. His third lap was at 15:42. He ran a 48 on his 6th lap. And then you look all the way down to Matt Craftsman, who on his fastest lap was lap 20. So what that's telling me, guys, is tonight we're going to see some various strategies. We're going to have people that will make a chance to stay out or maybe pit early, stay out on those tires till the end of the race. We've seen that here at Bristol a lot. It'll be fun to follow tonight. That's what I love about short track racing. That's what I love about Bristol, is you can mix it up, and we're going to see a lot of different players at the front of the field.
We saw Majeski do that last year. Pitted on lap 87, had a stage break after that, stayed on the racetrack to get track position, and went on to win.
Eckes leads. His teammate Jake Garcia, the rookie, is second, making his second appearance here at Bristol. And maybe we shouldn't be surprised, because if you go back to last year, Derek Kraus was driving the 19, quick in practice, started on the pole, was really good in the race. So this team obviously has a nice combination when it comes to setup at this little short track in East Tennessee.
And Adam, Michael was talking about how some of the guys have run really fast laps later in the run. Christian Eckes' 10th lap was only about 0.03 of a second off his quick lap. So I think these tires are leading up to something that's going to be exactly what you're talking about, Michael. People pitting early, getting that track position.
I think the first 3 finishers in stage 2 last fall maybe finished just barely inside the top 10 at
7th, 8th, and 9th.
Yeah, at the end of the race. So it takes differing strategies in order to be able to pull off a victory, and we're going to see that tonight. And for me, it makes it a lot of fun.
Nick Sanchez taking that Chevrolet back to the garage. You saw the playoff profile for the rookie from Miami, who's been so successful this year, but unable to find his way to victory lane. Won a stage last week at Kansas and advanced quite easily from the opening round of the playoffs to the round of 8.
Dominated Texas, Adam, and nearly won that race. Got in a wreck with just a lap or so to go. So he's there. It's been fun to watch this kid. He and Jake Garcia both, I think, have been fun for me just to see guys I didn't have a lot of information on, not a lot of experience, but yet they're able to get right up front and be competitive.
How about the year that this young man has had, Carson Hocevar? Such a great year here. Finally got to victory lane here in the Truck Series. Texas was his first win. Now he's won here 3 times. Great Xfinity runs, top 10 finishes, and doing a whale of a job in the times he's gotten that Cup car.
Even over on the Xfinity side, he's had a few starts for Spire and done a nice job.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, the last time we raced on the concrete in the trucks in Tennessee, Hocevar was able to get the checker flag. Let's look back. Here's what you talked about. First career win, Texas, Phil.
Yeah, we talked about Nick Sanchez dominating that race at Texas. Spun out on the last lap. Carson Hocevar was there to take advantage of it. Then goes to Nashville and wins. And he's not done winning. He goes to Richmond and does it again.
Tells you a little bit about how competitive the Truck Series is. We talk about the success of this young man in the playoffs now, racing for a championship. He's 17th fastest in this session so far, so a lot of speed by a lot of different trucks.
Hocevar, one of 3 drivers this year to hit the trifecta and pick up 3 trophies on track.
All right, I'm going to change your world.
That's going to be interesting.
Let's go. I love to root for great.
Yeah.
I want to watch history.
Ooh.
You want to root for the underdog. Good luck with that. In sports, people hate what they fear. They hate the Cowboys. They hate LeBron. I've got a lot of haters.
Truth hurts sometimes.
I'm controversial when I don't even mean to be. It doesn't matter how many times I'm right. You'll still argue with me. This is The Herd.
Let me help you decide how to spend your Thursday evening. You're on FS2 right now, watching trucks practice and qualifying. How about at 6 o'clock, you go to FS1 for ARCA competition and keep it right there, Phil.
Yeah, Jamie Little and Ryan Blaney will be in the booth for that one.
Trucks Race Day happens at 8, a setup to the opening race in the round of 8. For the Craftsman Truck Series, Phil, Michael, me, Amanda Busick, Jamie Howe back here, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Looking forward to all the fun. Maybe one driver going to find their way to Phoenix and put themselves in position to run for that championship.
Isn't that really cool, Adam? We're at the point of the season in the Truck Series. We're going to send somebody, if one of our playoff drivers win, we're going to send them to Phoenix to race for a championship. It's playoff time, and the trucks are ahead of the curve on that. Who wins tonight? Does one of our playoff guys get it done and go to Phoenix and race for a championship?
The guy we're riding with right now.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how he can keep him being a favorite.
Would you call him a short track guru?
Yes. An ace.
I'll tell you how I keep him from being a favorite. Christian Eckes, momentum, playoff mustache, fastest.
The mustache might do it, you think?
Fastest in this practice session. I like that 19 team right now. Look at that work he's doing. Head over to the left, just fighting that wheel. You can just see how intense it is down in there. And that's by himself. You start trying to make passes on this little tight half mile, action picks up in a hurry.
You get more G-forces here than just about anywhere else we run. Such a blast to run here.
You just want to get that left front right down on that yellow line, paint that bottom, keep it wrapping around the corner. That's some of the terms you'll hear these drivers use. Get in that gas as soon as you can.
Listen how little off throttle time there is for Majeski. Still running some really fast laps. His last lap was a 71.
Majeski, one of the 4 playoff drivers, now 5 inside the top 10. His teammate Ben Rhodes up there as well. He's 3rd right now in the 99. Pretty significant change with this group this week.
Yeah, brought Rich Luches back on board. Rich was the architect for this championship winning year a couple years ago. I made the change this week after Kansas. Going to reunite Ben and Rich, and man, that I think that's so far paying dividends.
Well, you can almost just see how relaxed Ben Rhodes looks today, and seeing him in the garage earlier talking with Rich. You think about the history that these two have together. It's kind of been, I think Ben had the worst average finish of the playoff drivers in that round 1. So if looking for a spark in round 2 in the hopes of racing for it all in Phoenix, maybe this is just what the 99 needed.
You know, I talked to Rich earlier today, and he said, reunited, and it feels so good. And I love that. I love the energy. I love this move by Thor Sports to put Rich back on the box for Ben. Ben struggled through that first round. As Amanda said, but he's got a lot of talent, and this pairing has had success before. Obviously, it's going to be fun to see them reunited.
And he knows how to get it done. He knows how to win a championship. He made our Final Four last year, was actually leading the race at Phoenix late on a late restart.
This has not been what I quite expected for Grant Enfinger. He's down in 22nd, Adam, in this session.
When you look at his career, short tracks is what I think of. Been so good at these types of tracks. In fact, if you look at his Bristol resume, 6 starts, every time finishing inside the top 10.
Am I correct, Adam, in thinking maybe his average finish at Bristol might be 5.2?
I'm going to go with that. 5.2 sounds good to me.
Wow. I wasn't sure of that, Phil. It seemed like it was somewhere around 5, but I wasn't sure.
I'm going to go with he's made 27 short track starts in his career, and I think his average finish is 8, but don't hold me to that.
Yeah, and I think of those 27, like 19 of them are top 10.
The games we play.
And you know, it's interesting. Look at the different style. You know, it's like golfers. You see one golfer hit it one way, another, both of them do it really well. Grant's more upright in that truck. You don't see him all hunkered over to the left like we saw earlier with Majeski. So, oh, and remember how fast I said 19 was? Grant Enfinger said, what was that? Where's he going? We got to try to learn something off of the line that Eckes is running, as he took that track position right away from Grant. Grant's slipping up the hill a little bit there, maybe on purpose, just seeing what the track's like outside that darker area on the bottom.
Remember, these teams have an alliance. Bill and McAnally Hillerman Racing has an alliance with GMS, so all the information that these teams come up with, that's shared among those two teams. And right now, I want to go over and look and see what that 19 has for a chassis setup.
Grant's one of those drivers, though, that you can write off. He's quiet, unassuming, and then boom, he comes out and delivers. So it's just practice. We'll see how things unfold as we go through qualifying and ultimately the race tonight. Whereas we talked about, strategy can be the end-all, be-all. With Jeff Hensley on the box, they're always going to have a shot. Here's his young teammate, the veteran partner with 2 rookies at GMS, Raja Karuth.
That's what I started to say. Don't forget, he's got Jeff Hensley calling the shots. Jeff's been around here a long time. Former driver, former champion, crew chief in the Xfinity Series, and knows how to get it done for these trucks as well.
You know, we've talked a lot about the fast speeds that Eckes and Jake Garcia put up at the top, but with the very small amount of fall off, you know, you talked, Phil, he's within a half a tenth of what he ran for his fast lap. And with that small fall off, it really makes me want to look at the best consecutive lap average. As I glance across those, Raja Karuth is in the top 5 in the 5, 10, and 15 lap averages. So he's got a really, really fast truck.
Look
Christian
at Taylor
Eckes, excuse me.
Yep.
There's Taylor, and what a run he had last time out in Kansas, career best. But up front, it's Eckes throughout all those categories, and right behind him, Majeski. So it's the story that we thought we might see from those two.
Practice is done. There's the new dynamic duo talking things over. Ben with a new man atop the box. They look good in practice. What do they have in qualifying? It's next. Practice complete for the Craftsman Truck Series here at Bristol Motor Speedway. 5 playoff drivers inside the top 8. What do you fellas notice as we look at the top 10?
Just the diversity of guys up in that top 10. Jack Wood, a good practice session there. Matt DiBenedetto loves this racetrack. 2nd in the Cup Series just a few years back. He wants to make a statement. All these guys that aren't in yellow say, I just want to win, baby. Let's just win.
Jack Wood, along with Caden Honeycutt, 2 of the drivers doing double duty tonight, running the ARCA race as well.
Christian Eckes leads the way. Ben Rhodes is 3rd. Let's do the Ben and Busick show down on the pit lane. How about it, Amanda?
Well, Ben, we were taking a look at you and Rich Lucius talking before we went to break, and we know the result that can happen when you two are paired together. But how did you find out that Rich was coming back?
Well, I think it was kind of a sudden thing. We honestly just thought there would be dirt on this track again. We won last time there was dirt here with Rich, so we were just hoping they'd throw dirt back on the track. But no, honestly, happy to be back together. I think it's been a good pairing thus far in practice. I see we're 3rd on the board, but I think the main story tonight is really going to be qualifying good. I think everybody's a little bit antsy about the next session that's to come. Track position's really big. The grip differential from the bottom line where the PJ1 is at to the middle groove is substantial, like 10% grip difference. So what that means is it's going to be difficult to pass, and
if you can get to somebody's bumper, you might be able to move them, but we're carrying a lot of speed right now and not seeing a lot of fall off, so qualifying is going to be a premium.
I was talking to Ben a little bit off camera, and he was kind of concerned about that traction compound for tonight and said that that could throw everyone's pit strategy right out the window.
Well, the numbers don't lie. Ben talks about the importance of qualifying. We've had 25 races here. 13 times the winner has qualified in the top 3, and the average starting position of the winner 4.8. You have to qualify good to put yourself in position to go out and win the race.
Yeah, this has always been one of those track position races, and that's why we were talked early in the show about the drivers that had stage points, finished 1, 2, 3 in the second stage, and they didn't finish in the top 5 in the race, and the guys that finished up front in the race, like Ty Majeski, were outside the top 10 in that second stage because they elected to come to pit road prior to the end of the stage.
We heard Ben Rhodes talk about PJ1, and I mentioned earlier the darker part of the track. That's the traction compound. Bob Pockris from Fox Sports reported that this track was sprayed earlier today, and that means that's fresh traction compound. PJ1, as Ben Rhodes called it. It's called a lot of different things, but basically it means there's a little bit more grip down low, and that's just trying to promote Marcus Smith, Speedway Motorsports, all the folks that work on these racetracks. They're just trying to promote better racing. You put a little bit more grip down low, the banking is higher, it's steeper up top, so that's going to promote people wanting to go there. It's just trying to level the playing field, so we see a lot of action.
And we've seen these races with the guys running right up against the outside wall, whether it be all weekend, either series. So that's just a way to try to make sure that bottom stays good, and drivers can make passes on the bottom as well as the top.
Danny Bone on the track in his Rust-Oleum number 44. Bowman Gray modified Superstar coming to the Truck Series again. He's going to run a 16.03. It's about 3/4 of a second thereabout off of what we saw fastest in practice. So we'll see how that places Danny in the starting lineup.
That was right about what Danny ran in practice. He was 34th quickest. So again, we have 38 trucks here. 36 will start the race. 31 will be locked in on time. So right now, that's what some of these drivers are thinking. I've got to make the top 31, which means you have to beat 7.
Yeah,
that's the magic number.
As soon as you're ahead of 7, you can breathe and think, I'm going to go racing tonight.
1 round, 2 laps on the short track here at Bristol. Parker Kligerman third a season ago in this race.
This looks really good too. Yeah, 15:57.
Parker doing double duty, not running ARCA and trucks tonight, but trucks tonight, Xfinity tomorrow when he begins a quest to the title, the opening race in the postseason for the Xfinity Series tomorrow night, right here at Bristol. Second lap, no faster, 15:57, the lap of record for Kligerman. Opening race in the round of 8 for the trucks. You win here. If you're playoff eligible, you're going to go run for the championship. What a collection we have over the next month or so.
Well, and if you can win here, then you can breathe for about the next 6 weeks till we get ready to go to Phoenix. But I love the way this round sets up. You could not have any 3 racetracks any different than these 3 right here.
You're going to run all over the racetrack tonight in Bristol. You're going to run in a pack at Talladega. You're going to run from the top to the bottom, probably preferably top when we go to Miami. So you're right, Phil. What a diverse set of racetracks we have for this round of 8. Oh, we're going to get a little loose.
That was a good lap going to. Still going to be a pretty good lap for Connor Jones, but he lost a little bit of ground there when he slipped. Another one of those drivers doing double duty with the ARCA race.
So frustrating when you slip coming off turn 4 on the first lap, because you know it's going to mess up both laps a little bit, but that's a great run. Fastest lap, I think, of the day, that 15:39. Is that right, Phil?
Indeed. Sure is, yeah.
And that could have been another 10th or so better. He was really wobbly coming up off turn 4. Great job by the young man, Connor Jones.
Stayed with it, too, didn't he?
Last time the trucks raced at Bristol, it was that 66 that won on the dirt, courtesy of Joey Logano, racing a 5th truck that Saturday night for Thor Sport. Here's Carson Quapple. Truck Series debut coming your way later tonight on FS1.
Man, that looked fast coming through 3 and 4. That's important too. You got to get through 3 and 4 coming to the green in order to set up. This thing happens so quickly. You can't leave anything on the table. When you leave pit road, you better be ready just to romp.
Made his first ARCA Series start last week. Had a great runner-up finish at Kansas. 15:70. His last fast time for him, 15:51.
Mentioned during practice, Father Travis won the truck race here in 2003 en route to the title. Back to Amanda.
Well, I'm pretty sure this interview was requested just for a mustache update, but I saw you talking with your crew chief and just how comfortable you are with the truck at the moment.
Yeah, pretty comfortable with the speed. Handling-wise, we're a little bit off, but I think it's really fast, so I just have to deal with that. So, yeah, I'm just super proud of everybody. Thanks to Gates Hydraulics, Snap Auto Care, everybody involved. It's been a good couple weeks, so we got to keep the momentum going, and I think we have a truck good enough to contend at least tonight, and yeah, as long as we don't mess it up.
When we got over here, Christian was already reviewing his data on SMT from practice.
Ooh, that was loose, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Memphis Viral into turn 3 with the back end of that 33 truck hung out.
Memphis is one of those drivers for that team that doesn't have a whole lot of points to fall back on. We talk about top 31 on speed, then they go to owner points to fall off the field. He's a little bit vulnerable right now, point-wise.
Picked up a little bit on lap 2 from a 99 to an 84. Memphis works at the shop. Gets an opportunity to race occasionally. Doing it here tonight at Bristol, he hopes. As Phil said, one of those drivers we'll keep an eye on because 2 will go home at the end of the qualifying session.
There's the Outback guy.
Stephen Malazzi, we told his story during practice, trying to get that Outback mobile into the show.
It looked like to me during practice, Stephen was a little bit high in the corners. You know, his team will help him review that and tell him how to make those adjustments. He's got it a lot lower here during qualifying than he was able to keep. There he goes again.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was his problem in practice. He's got to try to hug that yellow line like I talked about earlier, and he's just not able to do so.
And Ben Rhodes said that's where all the grip is right now, at least 10%. And they do a friction test, so that's not a guess. They know exactly how much more grip there is in that bottom lane, on the second lane, and really all the way up the racetrack.
1671 on that first lap, and you saw him way up the hill. He's able to hold it down, and he picks up a bit here. 4/10 to 1632. Still the slowest so far of the 6 trucks that have gone.
Jones, Quapple, Kligerman, the top 3. Michael said it. 6 have taken time. 7 truck on track. Justin Carroll, 27 from Williamsburg, Virginia, hoping to make his 5th start of the season here tonight.
Justin had a pretty decent practice session. Ran some pretty good laps late in the session. Maybe that's improvement on the setup. See what he's able to do here.
1588 was his best time in practice. Big wiggle. That's not going to help.
No, that's going to hurt. Now see if he can get it together and run a better lap on lap 2. Found the limits there, didn't he?
Sure did. You could hear the truck hitting the rev limiter.
Loose again.
It's another one of those trucks that doesn't have a lot to fall back on point-wise.
He's able to beat 2 trucks. Watch this big wiggle down in turn 1. This is when you got a lot of confidence things going to stick, and then it doesn't.
And you know you have new tires on. This is as good as it's going to be, and you hope that it's going to stay under you.
20 truck, Greg Van Alst, making his final ARCA start of the season tonight, 6 o'clock Eastern on FS1, and hoping to run both races. Driving the 20 here tonight on the truck side of things. Greg from Anderson, Indiana, home at one time to the 2nd largest high school basketball gym in the world. A place they called the Wigwam. You didn't know that, did you?
I did not know that.
Yeah, now you know.
What was the attendance? What were capacity?
I would say it held somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,500 if I had to guess. Yeah. High school gym, yep.
Greg did a nice job in this qualifying session. Ooh. Gets away from him there, but was able to go 15.82. 4th quick so far.
Greg, 4th of 8. Spencer Boyd, next truck on track. We'll have him and others when we return. It's we'll hit the brakes just like Greg Van Alst. We decided to keep it right here at Bristol. I got all wound up, ready for the break, and instead we're going to hit the brakes and keep it at Bristol.
Are you messing with me and Phil, Adam?
I am.
I was all set to go to commercial.
I couldn't wait to watch Spencer qualify. So, whoa. Let's make sure we get the 12.
I agree with you. Absolutely. What a great-looking truck. Spencer does such a good job bringing sponsors to the series and to the sport.
Every time I see him or see his name, all I think about 2019 at Talladega. I mean, it was magic, wasn't it?
It sure was.
That embodies what Talladega is all about.
And we got Talladega coming up.
We do.
It's going to be a good one. Hey, Adam, why don't you take us to break this time? Let me do it since you messed it up.
Please go ahead.
We'll be right back to Bristol Motor Speedway for some more intense qualifying action. It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from East Tennessee.
Welcome back to qualifying, Bristol Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, 10th truck out, 5th quick in practice earlier. Caden Honeycutt in the 02.
Boy, it looks good, too.
Yeah, did you hear the rev limiter? That means he's really maxing that thing out. This is coming to the white flag on lap 1. And look at that. 15.33, fastest lap of the day.
He's going to back up that top 5 practice run here in qualifying.
He's still in the green. He's feeling good about this.
Oh, it slipped a little.
Oh, my, into the wall. Hang on to it.
He missed the inside wall. That's so critical.
See that damage on the right rear? That's a critical part of the truck, too. The team will have to go to work on that. He won't be able to retain that starting position wherever he winds up, but just going for it there on lap 2 and had himself in the green until he started that exit.
Just a little bit wide, but right in the center, and obviously stayed with it. But again, if he would have hit the inside wall there, that would have been with the front, and that would have been backup truck for sure. But they may be able to pour the power of that quarter panel back out and fix that. But nonetheless, a great run for Caden Honeycutt. But Tyler Young's guys are going to have a little bit of work to do before we race tonight.
Yeah, I believe that truck will be fine, though. They can bend it out and go to work on it. Pretty big hit to that right rear, but they'll push that out, I believe.
You won't even hardly know it when they get done repairing that truck for the race.
Half the trucks after the race tonight will look worse than that, just to give you an idea of what we're expecting. They got about 4 hours to get their work done. So tough on these teams. When you have a one-day show, you go out, you practice, you qualify, and then you race. But with the ARCA event in between, gives them about 4 hours to get the truck repaired where it needs to be. And then they'll have a long climb through the field later on tonight.
Yeah, and the important thing is I don't think it hit the right rear tire. I don't see any marks on that right rear tire. It's a great shot of it right there. Even though it may be flat, that's just from sliding and having the brakes locked up. Then they would have to think about the rear end housing and stuff like that if that tire hit the wall, but obviously didn't. So a great lap. Unfortunately, going to be a lot of work for the Tyler Young guys.
I feel like every time we come to Bristol, he gets our attention. I rewind to the spring. He was 13th here last year. Let's go back to when we were racing on the dirt. We come out for the heat races. You remember the show he put on, got our attention, ended up finishing inside the top 10. You can see the frustration on his face, but the reality is the truck is fast, and he's wheeling that thing so far this afternoon.
What about lap 2? Cross the start-finish line nearly backwards at a 15.55. So that's a little consequence for him. Certainly sad right now about making that mistake and putting the team in a bit of a box. But I think they're going to appreciate the effort. Just got away from him.
A little support from Carson Hocevar there.
Yeah, Tom, don't worry about it. But you were going for it, man. That's what Carson's telling him right now.
Those laps in the ARCA race for Honeycutt could do him a lot of good. Get him calmed down, get his rhythm back, so the next time he's behind the wheel won't be starting in that truck. He's got a little time in between. As we look at our double dippers, you got Honeycutt, William Sawalich, who no doubt will be one of the favorites later on this evening, Greg Van Alst, Jack Wood, and Connor Jones, who we anticipate will be fast in both races.
I think everybody on that list is a potential winner in that ARCA race tonight. Especially this young man right here, 16 years old, William Sawalich.
How impressive has he been, Michael? Every time we see him come out, he does something that makes you think, it reinforces your thought on him that he's going to be a superstar as he climbs the ladder in NASCAR.
And that's what's so great about the truck series. I know Phil gets to sample them a little bit first in the ARCA, but when they come to the trucks, when they do the things that William Sawalich has done, you're like, well, not only is he going to win truck races, he could win cup races one day. We've seen it before. We saw it here at Bristol just a couple of years ago. Sam Mayer hopping out there and getting a victory at 16 years of age in the trucks, and now he's an Xfinity winner.
He actually won the ARCA race that same night. We went back-to-back wins in one night, but good-looking lap for Sawalich here.
Opening lap was 7,000 slower than Honeycutt. Lap 2 puts him top of the board, 15:24 for the 16-year-old.
You know, he's also racing for a championship. This is maybe a second pole of the evening.
I feel like every time I look at the front row for an ARCA event, it's Sawalich and Jesse Love.
When Sawalich is it's a racetrack that he can race on. He can't race on all the racetracks, but the ones he can. And that truck, or the car, ARCA car that he's driving here, is the same car that went to Victory Lane with Connor Mosack last week at Kansas. So it's going to be fun to watch tonight.
Next up in qualifying, Haley Deegan in the 13.
What a great looking truck here. ThorSport always brings such good looking trucks, but this one's America's Navy as a sponsor on this truck.
That's a good lap for Haley. 15:36, just 3/100ths off of the lap by Caden Honeycutt.
Matched even a little bit quicker than her teammate Connor Jones. Just a tick off on the lap number 2, but nonetheless a great effort for Haley Deegan.
People, I don't think, sometimes respect how difficult going out there from 0 to running 2 laps around a half-mile track in under 16 seconds. How difficult and how intense that is. And just to be able to put it around there and have that type of speed is just really impressive.
Fortunately, it only takes 15.5 seconds, so we can hold our breath for about 32 seconds is what we need to.
45 is Lawless Allen.
Good looking lap going for Lawless here as he enters turn 3. Keep that thing right down on the yellow line.
Lost it off 4 a bit there.
Still a pretty solid lap at a 15:41.
I used to like when we qualified, Phil, when it was one and done. I like holding my breath for 15 seconds.
Not 30?
Not 30. when you're setting in the line to go qualify and somebody runs faster on lap 2, you're like, all right, I might have to go run 2 laps instead of 1.
56 is Timmy Hill.
Timmy's another driver that will be doing double duty, but not the ARCA race later tonight. He'll be running the Xfinity race tomorrow night.
A few different versions of double duty this weekend.
Yes.
Trucks and ARCA, Trucks Xfinity, and the
even
seldom Trucks Cup for Carson Hocevar.
Going to get back in that 42 car that he gave such a good ride last week at Kansas.
And Darlington as
Darlington,
well.
Darlington 20 as well. Yeah. He's been fun to watch this year.
Even rewind St. Louis when he was running the 7. Had such a good run going before they had the brake issue.
Timmy Hill up in the 6th spot so far in this session. Good lap.
Right now, we've had about 7 of our trucks run faster than the top 5 did in practice. These guys are bringing it.
Second lap no faster for Timmy Hill, so he stays in 6th. Sawalich, Honeycutt, Deegan, Jones, and Allen, the top 5, as Brett Holmes pulls onto the track.
Munford, Alabama's Brett Holmes comes up through the gears.
He's looking forward to that second race in the round of 8 in a couple of weeks. Not playoff eligible, obviously, but loves going home, racing at Talladega, and an opportunity to pull the upset and get a victory in the Craftsman Truck Series.
It's been oh so close in the ARCA series at Talladega going to victory lane. Ninth on lap 1 for Brett. Former ARCA series champion.
Just a little bit up the track there as he entered turn 3.
When it doesn't take much, does it?
It's such a fine line here at Bristol.
He stays in the 9th position, 1566. Let's go to Amanda.
Corey Haim told me earlier that he finds Bristol to be a crapshoot. Well, how do you handle those odds tonight?
Yeah, it's just tough when everyone's so close together. I mean, this place has so much grip that there's not a lot of separation between trucks. So I can only speak for our own Safe 500 Charity Pro and saying that it's been really solid today, as good as it can get, I feel like. But I'm just really thankful for Tricon Garage and Toyota Racing, and looking forward to trying to stay up front. Track position is going to be everything.
When I talked to the regular season winner earlier today, he said he is still the favorite to win this championship.
No question. Comes in atop the leaderboard as we begin the round of 8. 12 consecutive top 10s. He's led laps in 12 consecutive races, and you saw his results in the playoffs, an 8th and a couple of top 5s. So picking up where he left off as we've hit the postseason. Look at Daniel Dye to the was at the top of the leaderboard there for just a second. He slipped now back to the 2nd spot. Can he get there? No, second at a 15:33.
I talked when we were showing practice earlier, the strength that Daniel's shown here in the ARCA car. First Truck Series start, but that's a great lap for that young man.
He flashed into the green, and I'm like, he is going to get there, and couldn't hang on to it. So Daniel Dye goes 2nd to William Sawalich.
And so it begins on the 02 truck, Adam. You talked about the team going to work. They got their work cut out for them, but I believe that truck is very repairable, and he'll be just as fast tonight as he was in qualifying.
Here's Matt Crafton. Knows what it's like to win a championship, made the playoffs, eliminated in the opening round, so he does not advance. But as Michael said during practice, so much to race for. 15 career wins for the driver out of California. 3 of those have come on short tracks in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Been runner-up twice here at Bristol.
Had a solid practice session. I mentioned that he ran his fastest lap, like on lap 20-something, so that means he'll be good in the race tonight. Got a good lap going here on lap 2. Picks it up.
7th to 6th, 15:40 for driver 88.
See, Sawalich is 15:24. Then look at all the 30s behind him. We've got 4 trucks in the 30s, and we'll have more before we're done.
I just noticed the fact that Dye and Honeycutt ran the exact same time. I mean, how crazy is that? A half mile around at these kinds of speeds, 15:337, identical.
Grant County mulch. See the tree on the back there?
See, Simpsonville, South Carolina is where Colby's from. I went to a concert in Simpsonville, South Carolina last week.
Who'd you go see, Phil?
Doobie Brothers.
Did you know?
It's your band, right?
Yeah, I played cowbell with those guys before.
And a nice job you did, too.
They didn't ask me to come back. Did they say anything, Phil? About
I was looking for you there. I didn't see you on the stage.
Colby Howard will run 15:65, just outside the top 10 on that first lap.
We got a little bit wide on that first lap.
He's going to pick it up.
Going to be a lot better second lap.
Yeah, there it is.
Up to 8th, 15:44 for South Carolina's own Colby Howard. Tanner Gray coming up. Little Stuart Friesen, who's been good at Bristol. Or maybe it's Jake Garcia, who is 2nd in practice. Halfway home, it's qualifying for the Craftsman Truck Series at Bristol. Here comes the 15 of Tanner Gray. Be the 19th truck to go out in the session.
Talked about his brother Taylor getting his best career finish last week at Kansas, 2nd. Taylor did the same thing, or Tanner did the same thing earlier this year at Daytona. Got a runner-up finish.
And you know, we talk about the parity and the depth of the field here in the Truck Series. I mean, this kid winning tonight would not surprise me at all. And there's so many stories like that of drivers that haven't been to victory lane, but certainly have the ability to get there.
Look at this lap, too, guys.
We're flashing a lot of green is Tanner Gray.
It's going to stay green.
On top right now, but Tanner Gray jumps him. 15:20 for driver 15. He stays in it, but not going to improve on what was an outstanding lap. Tanner Gray, P1, just in front of his teammate William Sawalich. Back to Amanda.
Well, Grant Enfinger told us ahead of this playoff that he could take round 1 a little kinder than he has in previous playoff stints, but now we kick off the second round, and you said that you have to be aggressive. What do we see tonight?
Yeah, last year was a lot about track position, but I've seen it go both ways here at Bristol, especially if there gets to be a second or third lane. It's an option here. Our champion power equipment Chevy, I think it's pretty decent. It doesn't look like that on the speed charts, but we just fired off a little too tight. Our last run out there, I was pretty happy with it. So it doesn't seem like these tires are wearing. But just have to see what the track does tonight.
Good luck, Grant.
Thank you.
I agree with that assessment. The tires aren't wearing. And that's what we saw in practice. A lot of fast speeds when they got 20, 25 laps on those tires.
And Grant talked about he's seen it go both ways. We talked about last year how the guys that finished 1, 2, 3 in the second stage didn't finish in the top 5. Well, 2 years ago, Sheldon Creed led over almost 190 laps in a late restart. Got together with Chandler Smith Racing for the win and cut a tire down. So, and he won both stages. So it can happen both ways.
What about that lap for Jake Drew? Third quick in that number 61 truck.
The reigning Arca Menards West Series champion.
And coming off a career best finish, 10th last week on Friday night at Kansas. Dean Thompson in the 5. Maybe some confidence for him as he looks at the leaderboard and sees his teammates, Tanner Gray, William Sawalich up there.
Decent lap going here.
This could be top 5.
Yeah.
Nice turn 3 and 4. You can see not losing any ground there. Picking it up a little bit.
Nice
He'll go third.
15:29 for Thompson.
Nice.
Tricon 1, 2, 3 right now.
Somewhere David Gilliland is smiling.
I would think.
Tricon 1, 2, 3. Get it?
No, I do.
I got it. No, yeah, I got it. Yeah.
That's 3.
Yes. Yeah. Try. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a trifecta.
Yeah. Or a tricycle.
They still have 2 good ones hanging out there.
Now, what are we going to do about that, Adam?
It's not going to match up, is it?
It just doesn't add up.
They're going to have to change their name then, apparently.
Raja Caruth, top 10 in practice. We just heard from his teammate, Grant Enfinger. His other teammate had a pretty decent run. Daniel Dye is 5th. Let's see what the rookie from Washington, D.C. can do.
I'd say he goes top 5. I think he's got a lot of speed in that race where I like the way it looked in practice.
Oh,
I don't like that look, though.
That'll get your attention.
And then you got to go down the next corner and do it all over again.
But he's in the green, guys, though. He stayed with it.
Loose equals fast, right?
Oh, wow.
It'll be a good one.
24 to the top. 15-18 for Raja Caruth.
Now Maury Gallagher somewhere smiling.
College student at Winston-Salem State. And he went to school in qualifying. Man, that's really good for Raja.
Second lap was fast, too.
And you saw those hands sideways fighting that truck. Great job, Raja. That truck in practice impressed me. That's why I felt like that this was really going to be a fast lap, and he didn't disappoint.
Yeah, top 5 in what, 5, 10, 15 laps? Is that what you were saying? Yeah.
Talk so much about the teammate comparisons here in qualifying. Jake Drew is 5th. Here's his teammate, Tyler Ankrum, in the 16. Has enjoyed a decent amount of success here at Bristol. 4 starts, I believe, a couple of top 10s.
Oh!
All right, let's regroup. We know this lap's a throwaway. Ease it down into 3.
Yeah, don't overdrive turn 3 and just compound the problem.
Get on it hard and go. See how much he's going to pick up here. Over a second off on lap 1 after that big slide.
Yeah, 14th, only one way to go for Ankrum, trying to dig in and make up some ground after he went up the hill in that opening lap.
He'll go 13th on that second lap. Adam, for 15.467 for Ankrum. Jack Wood hitting the track in his Rowdy Manufacturing number 51.
He's driving for the right team, KBM, 4 wins all time at Bristol in Truck Series competition. And the boss man, pretty decent here. Kyle.
How do you sweep all? I mean, we talk about being, how do you finish all 3? Kyle just won all 3.
He did it twice.
I know, it's just, that's the most amazing stat. My brother winning 5 times in a row here.
7.
And 7 times. 5 to 7.
Around 5.
He did win 5 in a row, and then he added 2 on top of that.
That was just icing on the cake. It's what the other 2 were.
Both those stats, I think, for this racetrack, as difficult it is, they're just amazing. Jack with a nice lap.
Yeah.
Really good.
Really good lap for Jack Wood.
Clocking in third, 15:22. Down to Amanda.
On the backside of Raja Karut's lap, Carson Hocevar said, I think there's a 15 flat out there. You know, this is our 5th short track visit this season. You've already won 2 so far. What have you figured out about this format?
I mean, I don't know if we've 100% figured it out. Well, the true test is round 8. This is where everybody's got every trick up their sleeve, every superpower, whatever the case may be. Everybody's rating the best of the best stuff. So we'll see that everybody's got you know, the same opportunity here to lock into Phoenix. So our truck, our Nice Motorsports group, we're working really hard. We're 8th in practice. We didn't unload very good, but it's not about how you unload, it's about how you end. So I think we got it working pretty good. Phil Gould's got some tricks up his sleeve on adjustments and stuff, and made good adjustments. We'll just have to see what it's like in qualifying. I don't know if you're really going to be able to pass it all, and honestly, with the way they got the racetrack, so it's going to be important.
We saw Caden Honeycutt frustrated after his miscue on track. What did you say to him?
What's that, sorry?
What did you say to Caden Honeycutt after his miscue?
I've been there, I've done that, you know, Sonoma even, so just wanted to help him out. You know, he works in the shop at Nice a little bit, been friends for a while, so you know, I needed those words of encouragement after Sonoma, and you know, I got to be able to give that back a little bit.
We've talked about the owners feeling good in qualifying. Kyle Busch satisfied so far. Jack Wood is 4th, and the new leader, Chase Purdy, who won the pole last Friday at Kansas. 15-14.
What a season it's been for Chase Purdy. This is really a season that he's coming to his own, really showing some flashes of some speed.
Wouldn't it be cool to see him get a win? Because he's been so good. And this is a team that struggled throughout the summer, but had a nice run in Kansas, got back on track. I was talking to Stewart earlier today, and he said we feel like we learned where we were off base and got it together. Only 21st fastest on that first lap. See if he can pick it up here on lap 2.
Yeah, he will. That first lap he was outside the traction compound. Just no grip, and you heard Carson Hocevar talking about right now. He doesn't know if they're going to be able to pass because nobody has been off the bottom of the racetrack.
That'll change. They'll start bumping into each other, sending them up the hill. We'll see a great race tonight.
15th for Friesen, 15:46. Jake Garcia, so good in practice. We'll see what he can do. Second career start at Bristol coming later tonight on FS1.
This is going to be a heater, y'all. This truck was so solid in practice. I talked about how good Raja Karut was. Same for Jake Garcia. I mean, this is the lap, Phil, where you commit before you even know what's going to happen.
Oh,
there it is. That's what I'm talking about. You've just got to think it's going to stick in order to go get the pole. He was on a flyer, but now he's going to qualify terrible because of those slips and slides.
As you mentioned, he got sideways coming off for turn 4. That's going to hurt this lap.
Oh, but
somehow he's overcome it, and he's in the green. I can't believe that first lap was as fast as it was with a big slide.
Hang on to it.
I said he's going to qualify terrible. He's 6th. That's compared to what was potentially there. What speed this 35 truck had, and he was giving it his all.
And that's the lap he qualified 6th on.
And then it doesn't get much better. And that lap was about the same as the first. What a great job of driving for Jake Garcia.
He came to play, didn't he? Put it all on the line. 10 trucks remain, including those 8 drivers going for the championship. Ten trucks to go, qualifying at Bristol for the Craftsman Truck Series. First of those, Taylor Gray, coming off that career best finish at Kansas. And he's a driver that's pretty good here at Bristol, too, both ARCA and trucks a year ago.
Coming off that great finish last week. Pretty solid lap going.
The 18-year-old out of Denver, North Carolina, got her sideways off turn 4.
Good enough to put him 6th, even though he had to hang on to it.
Oh, look at this second lap. Tracking nicely.
He flashed in the green there for a second, didn't he, Michael?
Yeah, it was.
And that's what's so hard when you get sideways on a lap and you say, what, is it going to be better? What's going to make this thing better this next corner?
You know what makes it better? He's 18 years old. And what you don't know sometimes don't hurt you. And he just kept the hammer down and was able to run faster on lap 2.
Let's celebrate Tricon again. Taylor Gray 5th, Sawalek 6th, Dean Thompson 7th. You got Tanner up there in the 3rd position leading the group. So overall a great effort for them. Corey Heim still to come. And the last of our non-playoff drivers, here's Matt DiBenedetto. He's had some good runs at Bristol over the years.
Yes, he has. Maybe at least one runner-up finish in the Cup Series at Bristol.
To Denny Hamlin, who's not bad.
Yeah.
And he was just right there, too, just on the bumper of Denny all the way to the checker.
I remember Denny saying, I mean, if there was ever a race that I hated to win, it was this one, because he knows how much that race would have meant to Matt.
8th on lap 1 for Matty D, who missed advancing to the round of 8 by only 5 points. Picks it up a little bit to a 15:25. He is 7th as we now await the arrival of our playoff drivers on track to see where they will start tonight's race. First of those, 99 of Ben Rhodes. He has a Bristol win, not on the concrete, as he told us earlier it came on the dirt a couple of years ago.
What a performance that was. I've never seen a truck so sideways. He was dirt tracking it that night and was able to go to victory lane.
Yeah, a couple of the crew chiefs told me that he was going to win that race before the race ever started. He was that good in practice.
Look at this lap. Was fast into 1, lost some through 1 and 2. Lost a lot, actually.
He was telling Amanda during practice how important qualifying is here, because you have to have that track position. Opening lap for the driver from Louisville, Kentucky, puts him 12th on the board.
I mean, 0.2 of a second off the quick time puts him down in the 12th spot.
Second lap no better, 15:33 for Ben Rhodes.
Uh-oh. I think Ben forgot to quit.
Kept digging, didn't he?
He wanted one more lap.
That's how intense it is, and I've been there. You're just so focused on what you're doing, forget to turn off the track.
Next is teammate Ty Majeski.
I talked about what this 45 seconds is like. Let's just ride along with Ty and watch those eyeballs and watch the intensity. Kevin Harvick texted me a minute ago and said, I can't believe Majeski. He looks like he's in a battle already, and we're just talking about practice.
Boy, sure looks good doing it, doesn't he?
Fast. Here he comes.
Right there at it. Right there. Oh, second.
Missed it by 0.008 of a second, did Majeski, trying to jump to P1. Last year's winner at Bristol. It was the first victory in his Truck Series career.
Here it comes again.
He didn't lose much there. Really good lap for Ty Majeski.
Both laps within about 17 thousandths of a second of each other.
Grant Enfinger, some struggles in the practice session. We'll see what the 23 can do here in qualifying. Tremendous short track racer is Enfinger.
What are the odds this camera survives? Especially if we talk about not really having much of a second lane there. It's going to be a little more pushing and shoving, I would guess, if that's the case.
Grant wasn't happy with his overall speed in practice, but he liked the way his truck felt. See what the veteran can do here in qualifying. Got a good one going.
I'll say this camera does tell you everything you need to know about this racetrack.
I'm getting dizzy.
He was clocking 9th, and that's where he is on lap 1.
Oh, lost a little bit of ground there.
Just a little bit tight, it looked like. Slid up the hill. So he'll go 9th quick after that little 2-lap sprint.
5 more trucks to go. The 41 of Bailey Curry will not make a qualifying attempt.
You think he's pretty interested in how these next 5 trucks run?
I think he is. I think he's a little bit nervous watching him. He may be more nervous watching than he was running that fast lap of 15-14.
Carson sideways already. I don't even think we've got to the green yet. That'll get your attention.
Hocevar won on the short track at Richmond last month. It was his 3rd win of the year. Also won in Nashville earlier this season on the concrete. So he's no stranger to success when it comes to racing in the great state of Tennessee.
Look at this lap.
In the green, back to the start-finish line, top of the board, Carson Hocevar, 15-13.
And that truck just looked out of control, Phil. I mean,
I guess there's more than one way to do it, isn't there?
He got sideways leaving the pit, and it stayed hung out the whole time. That tells you how much talent that young man has behind the wheel of that 42 truck. He just decided to one and done it, and I don't blame him. That was a lot of work for that one lap.
There's a few others that I think after further evaluation might have said one and done would have been a good way to go. Zane Smith, defending champion. He does have a short track win on his resume. Came at Martinsville a few years ago. Let's see what the 38 has for him.
That was a win at Martinsville to advance, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Got word there was a problem in the upper control arm for the 2 of Nick Sanchez. That's why he did not go out and make a qualifying run.
Front suspension issues. A lot of load on these trucks here at Bristol. If anything could go wrong, it will here.
9th for Zane Smith on the opening lap.
About 12 1/100ths of a second takes you from 1st to 9th.
Crazy, isn't it?
Sure is.
Let's get Statman Joe to tell us how many feet that is. Is a 1/10 of a second on a half-mile track here at Bristol. It's got to be less than 10, huh?
Oh yeah, I would think for sure. Yeah.
That's how much difference I'm talking about in these trucks running around this racetrack. You put them all out there together, no wonder we run into each other. That's a happy young man there, Carson, with that lap. He should be.
As was the crew chief, Phil Gould. He was happy too.
One of the themes of qualifying, the success of Tricon Garage. Here's the last of their trucks, regular season champion, 2-time winner, including on the half-mile at Martinsville earlier this year, Corey Hine.
Now, if looks or anything, that truck looked like it's going to step. Oh! Well, never mind. Up till then, it looked like the best handling truck in Tennessee, and then it went away.
I believe this will be a better one. A better 1 and 2 for sure.
See, he's flirting right there with the pole.
He was 12th to the 15:29 on the opening lap. Second lap jumps him to 10th, 15:25. Sanchez will not go. That takes us to our final truck in qualifying, fastest in practice. Plenty of drama here. Christian Eckes in the 19. He's been unbelievable so far in the playoffs in 2023.
Man, a lot of gas. You heard him just stomp on the pedal off turn 4.
Still a little off throttle time. He's in the green, guys. Half a lap to go.
The intense look of Carson Hocevar, helpless watching on. 4 thousandths of a second separate him on that opening lap. Hocevar still in front of Eckes.
It's going to be close.
Second lap for Eckes. He's on the pole. 15:10. Incredible.
How much fun was that?
Christian Eckes riding a wave of momentum. So good in the playoffs, averaging a second-place finish in the opening round. Got his 3rd win of the season at Kansas last Friday night, and he'll be the man in charge of the field when we go green this evening. It's his 6th career pole. His last pole coming at the playoff opener at IRP last month. Third pole of the season for Christian Eckes. Did it in practice, backed it up in qualifying. Here's your front row for tonight. The Mustache Man alongside Carson Hocevar. They've combined for 6 wins this year. They're eyeing a championship. Unofficially, 5 feet separates first and second. We look forward to the round of 8 opener this evening. Race day gets us going on FS1 at 8 o'clock. Michael, Phil, myself back here at 9 Eastern time. Don't forget, top of the hour, go over to FS1. It's the ARCA series from right here at Bristol. Coverage begins 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for watching. Congratulations, Christian Eckes. You're on the pro pole at Bristol, baby.